It's 9:21 on the 13th of July, and in the midst of all the bodily integrity violations, the medical negligence I'm treating without proper professional assistance, I'm experiencing discomfort as well. As I've mentioned throughout my uploads, there are individuals of false reporting and defamation of character that don't have direct communication or contact, that are unfortunately disrespecting so many pillars, as I keep reiterating, of society. So there's been a breakdown in communication, or there's just been an abstinence or a refusal of individuals to have a proper process. As I mentioned, the Taoiseach's representatives were contacted in 2017 and it's now 22, and I'm still tolerating really inconsiderate behaviour. The culprits have caused irreparable damage to my family, and they have imposed upon my faith and identity as well. And they are in a retaliatory process, an exacerbatory process. So there's a little bit of an issue, excuse me, there's a little bit of an issue, as I've mentioned, from many perspectives about any further offences that are incurred upon me in this country. The individuals have not only been spurious, inaccurate, inconsistent, etc., but they've also been highly offensive, and they've also been in breach of the law. So there are, as I've noticed recently, developments that haven't just affected the environment or my farms. The issue also of other forms of development that are very intrusive to privacy and processing people's privacy, that's been violated in this community as well. So there's so many instances that I could refer and relate to. It's absolutely astonishing that these people would think it's safe to disrespect so many faiths and to disrespect my family with fraud. It's scandalous, but this is what I'm tolerating. So there's a retaliatory, exacerbatory effort continuing. There's still the harms to my child unresolved. There's still the different faiths that have been applied in this offence against my good name, character and reputation, and these people aren't qualified in what they're doing. They have breached very sacred laws, and they've breached democratic constitutional law, and they have breached humanitarian law, all in an effort to prosper from my properties. The issue of defamation and blasphemy that they have conducted is quite dangerous in this community. And as I've mentioned, my humanitarian protection is another issue that is being affected due to the culprits of crime, all sorts of crime. It's not just the fraud and the crimes on my properties in Ardfert and Kilflynn. It's also the crimes of cybercrime is occurring. There's the financial theft I'm experiencing. There's so many, and there's so many aspects to all of this. It's really serious, and the damages to my child, as a mother of sacred status, it's really serious that the child I gave birth to on the 14th of the 10th, 2015, was, as a consequence of the Tusla Child and Family Agency, affected negatively. His upbringing, development and progress was affected. So that's quite a dangerous offence that the Ombudsman for Children was made aware of. So there's a matter with these culprits still offending me and not repairing the damages or making the amends or reparations that they have to make. I'm sure there are individuals out there that are taking exception to what they have heard from me. Some people don't like being told that they're not doing their job properly, but sometimes we need to be told when we're not doing our job properly. Sometimes we need to, upskill, update, and inform ourselves where we're failing or having our shortcomings highlighted. And with the qualifications and position that I hold, I think I'm pretty qualified to share my grievance or my opinion. Like every person with the freedom of speech that we have, I think we're all entitled to share our opinion when we're offended or when there's an obvious effort of crime occurring against a law-abiding private royal of legislation, and creative intellectual theft is occurring as well. So those that take exception to being told their shortcomings, I don't know what to say, I'm a recovery advocate. From that perspective, I have to address my shortcomings 24 hours a day, you know what I mean? I represent sanity and sobriety. These people in this community that seem to be harmonising while causing very dangerous grievance and offence and intrusion. I don't know if I like the concept of harmonisation that they've been conducting, and those individuals with ambitions on property where they've disrespected the family of my McElligott family. I'm really concerned. So there's broad daylight fraud and theft occurring. There's false reporting occurring, and it's 2022, and this mother's still awaiting for the culprits of missing person claims of 2017 to be addressed. The individuals that are responsible for false reporting in January 2017 that had no position in my personal life, there's still a liability to society, and they have been conducting faith practices that are blasphemous. So it's really serious, the defamation that have come from these same culprits and the harms that they've caused to my little baby boy, who's not a little baby boy anymore, but they have caused very serious disruption, and they being in my proximity is a problem for other people's families. So when my privacy is not respected and when procedures aren't respected, then that brings down the paradigm that holds up society. That's only just, so there's been casualties already, as I've mentioned, since the offences commenced against me, and the casualties are of the culprits of what they've done to themselves, basically. I live on my own. I'm a peaceful pacifist. Humanitarian protection is in place, and there are people in this community that have disrespected royalty. That's quite dangerous. So there's a lot happening 24/7 every day. It's a very vain-worthy effort. It's a very unworthy effort. It's not a justifiable cause to be disrespecting a mother and child for a land grab, because as plain and simple as it is, there are other factors at play that are also quite insulting to faith and family and the constitution of the country. So there's been a breakdown in communication, and people don't think they have to do their jobs with regard to the property holder of the Ardfort Kilflynn McElligott farm holdings of my name that are subject to fraud. So those people are liabilities to people's families, and any intruders that have been offensive to my child, I'm really concerned about that not being, treated properly. So scapegoating a mother of the Department of Education since 2003, I'm concerned for those disrespecting education. I'm concerned for those disrespecting Narcotics Anonymous Fellowship. I'm concerned for those disrespecting the Declaration of Human Rights. I'm concerned for those that are disrespecting the Constitution, and I'm concerned about those that are spending my wealth. I can't emphasise that enough. The €208 I receive from the state is a little bit of an underpayment, and the people prospering from my property, that's all questionable as well. So there's a lot of problems being caused as usual for me, but thankfully for the fellowship and sanity and sobriety, we get through the day, and we don't get into the ring when people are trying to cause a fight, as they are doing constantly in this community. It's really sad. It's really sad. And those people that are false reporting and defamation, I think they're doing a disservice to their own selves and their own families. People that have to be so rude and can't display common courtesy, I think you're setting a bad example to young people and young children. So I just want to highlight that little point as well. So tonight there's false reporting and intrusion and trespass and defamation of character. So this is my upload, and any guards that are aware of unlawful care orders in January 2017 and any unlawful detainments, and that are aware of the criminal justice and other departments' legislation and the doctors' medical negligence and their monetisation from me, and the damages to worldwide fellowship and the damages done to flora and fauna, you might be a little bit conscientious about, your damages you're causing me. It's very expensive disrespecting the Constitution and the Declaration of Human Rights and the 12-step program. Very expensive initiative. So I hope they're aware of their damages and their debts and etc. So this matter is just an update with regard to the insanity of society when people are on land acquisition efforts from my child and I, and the awful problems and disruption they're causing. It's really serious. Sad sign of the times.